Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome along to another video of Lunch and Learn. I hope you've enjoyed the videos from this week. I've had some amazing feedback, also some great questions coming in, so keep that coming. At the end of the day, this is for you. This is about answering those questions that you have about business marketing, trying to simplify it, give you the tips and share my knowledge on basically how you can get your marketing working for you. So today's topic, today's question is all about social media. Okay, so which platforms should you be using? Should you use all of them? Should you concentrate on one of them? That kind of thing. So we're going to get right into it now. Social media. I've been an advocate of social media for quite some time. I think it's offered the best the best traffic source that we've had for forever really, and also the social element means that we can get our word out there faster than the ever kind of traditional means of marketing. So let's talk about the good points, the bad points, the different platforms that you should be using, and how you can use different platforms really to your advantage. So let's kick things off with the bad news. I know no one wants to hear this, but this is the absolute truth. Okay, you take all the social media platforms, they owe you nothing. Okay, you're basically renting space within their platform, doing what you're doing. Okay, when they change things, when they decide that they want to go in a different way, or they don't want to show your content, everyone moans, everyone says, I want to do this, why won't you let me do that? I've spent money with them before, this has happened, that's happened. At the end of the day, things change, and we'll go through some scenarios where times have changed for even some of the platforms as well. But just want to give you that kind of that insight where I think the best way to describe this actually is, I've seen that you got the guy Darren Brown, okay, the magician hypnotist sort of guy. He's got a new program coming out on Netflix, okay, and he used to do a lot of stuff with Channel 4. Okay, so something's happened there. Either the market isn't there, the money isn't there, so he's moved across to use Netflix. Okay, and that's the same thing how you want to look at all of your marketing. Okay, is that you need to go where best suits you. Okay, and over time you may move from one platform to another platform, or concentrate on a different form of traffic. Okay, all these platforms, all these marketing material, marketing tactics, whatever you want to use, they're all for the short term. Overall is your strategy. You can move things along. It's the same as having a roadmap, same as having your sat nav. If something is blocking the road up ahead, it's going to take you off. It's all about getting to the end destination, and that's what all these platforms are about. So let's talk about the pros of social media. So the pros of social media are the awareness. Okay, you can get the knowledge of your business out there to a big audience. Okay, you can't do that with most things. Okay, so social media is one of the best platforms, best marketing platforms to use to get the awareness out there. It also acts as your backup as well. Okay, so same as your website, same as any kind of testimonials or anything like that, social media is your backup. People will check you out. Okay, so whether you give someone a business card at a meeting, whether they see a picture of you somewhere, or a video, or website, whatever it is, they will go to check you out in some sort of way. Social media, the platforms there are search engines at the end of the day, so it's all about being on those so that it creates your backup. It's the same as having a shop that you would open up each day. You would let people know that you're in business, this is what you do, and if they're in need of your service, that's when they come along to basically become a customer of yours. And like I said as well, traffic wise, social media, when it comes to social media marketing, a lot of people kind of either concentrate on the social side or they concentrate on the marketing side. Okay, you need to have kind of a mixture of the two, and part of that is being a traffic source for you. Okay, so it's not about just keeping people on the platform and people buying stuff from you on the platform. It's about moving them along. I've spoke a few times now, I think in each video kind of mentioned the customer journey. So it's a case of moving them along from one point to another point. So social media platforms, what should you be using? Me personally, this is how I see the platforms at the moment, especially in the UK today. Facebook is top. Facebook has been top for me for many years. It's being challenged right now, but for me it's still holding on to that top spot. LinkedIn and Instagram are kind of equally second, depending on your business, your preference as well, how you like to do things. One of those two. Third or fourth, however you look at it there. Twitter is making the list, and Twitter is just hanging on for me. Okay, and we'll go through the reason why I think there's still legs in there, but not much. Okay, and then you kind of got the likes of Snapchat for business. You know, unless your market is just for teens, Snapchat isn't going to do anything for you. Same as Google Plus. You know, Google pumped a lot of money into that. Nothing really happened. Could it come back? You know, they're probably going to do something to try and challenge it. They want to make money, the same as, you know, the likes of social media and Microsoft are doing now with LinkedIn. So, you know, they'll be up there. But let's run through those though. So let's just go into Twitter actually, because Twitter starts off with, you know, me sharing a bit about me and how I got into internet marketing. So back in around about 2010 was when I got into sort of the internet world when it comes to marketing. Affiliate marketing was my thing. So it was basically me getting paid a commission to either drive traffic to a website. I would get paid either on, you know, just that traffic or exchange of an email. So someone signing up for something or someone buying a product. Okay, that's when I would receive my money. And to do this for many years, it was all about just creating that traffic, and Twitter probably equaled about 90% of that traffic. Okay, and that was going straight off to someone else's website. I didn't even need to build a website or anything like that. It was going straight off to the person who was selling the stuff. And it was quite easy, to be honest. You know, it was just creating a lot of interesting topics, a lot of links, a lot of buy my stuff, which doesn't work today, but back then it did. And it probably worked for around about 4 years, really good. Today, nothing. Okay, it doesn't contribute to any business that I'm involved in today. No one's buying our stuff from Twitter. Okay, and that's just a bit of information then to, you know, for you to kind of work on as well in regards to marketing. I always get asked the question, should we still use Twitter? Yes, depending on the business that you're in. But I think what's really important with all these kind of social media platforms is that you still stay in the mix. It used to be a thing, I'm not sure if it still is, I'm gonna have to look into this, but basically if you put a link in your bio on Twitter, so you put your website link on there, basically Google would index that website quicker with it going through Twitter than if you submitted it straight to Google themselves. Okay, so Twitter had quite a lot of weight, and I think the amount of tweets that get out there and the way how kind of news is still involved in Twitter, it still has that authority. So it's still worth having a profile, having a link back to your website for SEO point of view. And also if you kind of have, I guess, a business which is heavily dependent on conversation, then Twitter is still good. Okay, and to give you an example of this as well, I'm involved in a sports business where we do a lot of marketing for sports athletes and teams, and Twitter is something where we can get involved with journalists, people that are basically printing a lot of content. I say printing online as well, but creating a lot of content around sport. We can still, you know, connect with those people better on Twitter than anywhere else. Okay, so it comes down to the actual business that you're in. Is there anything else to say about Twitter? I just say, like I said, keep it fresh. You never know where it's going to go. They may pull it back. They're doing a lot of different things to try and pull it back. It's not getting my attention at the moment. What is getting my attention is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, ever since Microsoft bought it, they've been playing around with it. They've been adding different features. I'm liking it. I think it's really good. I think they will probably bring it back to a level where, you know, it's challenging Facebook, okay, and Instagram. But basically with LinkedIn, I was actually talking with someone about LinkedIn last week. I just said, I was talking about someone's business and how I recommended that they do, you know, this and that on LinkedIn. And they said, LinkedIn, is this 2004? Should I be reactivating my MySpace account? And it's just like, you know, we still kind of have that feeling about LinkedIn that it's kind of old. It's kind of that professional. It's kind of that, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe a boring kind of way, you know, of, you know, getting your message out there when that doesn't have to be how it is. And I think the people which are embracing it and they're having those conversations, and that's what social media is all about really, is the social aspect of having those conversations and moving people on to the next step. So people get to know about you, they get to know about what you do, they can see your authority, they can see that you're the expert in what you do, they can see the value in what you offer. And it's about moving people along to those steps. So LinkedIn is probably where building those connections are probably the most worthwhile. Okay, so especially if you kind of are building those connections of someone who kind of links into what you do, and you're creating kind of that that powerhouse then, or that referral kind of route. It's a really great platform to be sort of getting in the mix. So I think even with those two, of Twitter and LinkedIn, I'm saying for both of them as well, is that the kind of post where buy my stuff used to work, it's not working anymore, if it ever did work, that is. And that's where we come to Facebook as well. So Facebook, I've always been bullish on. I've always said, you need to get your business on Facebook. You need to be promoting your business on Facebook. Facebook is where most of the people are, so it makes sense to get in front of them. Up until sort of February this year, it was quite easy. We used to get a lot of engagement in regards to inquiries coming through for different products and services for my businesses, for my clients' businesses as well. Today it's a lot harder. We get I work with a lot of trades, and they're still getting quite a heavy influx of inquiries, but what's working for one isn't working for another. Is really strange, but that's, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Okay, so we need to up our game with social media. So look, with Facebook, I think Facebook gives so many options to be able to promote your content. You kind of have your page, which again is like the shop front, letting you know what you do. And going back to LinkedIn as well, they do have the page feature on there. It's not really doing much for you at the moment, but it makes sense to maybe have a page there, because I think they probably will do something in the future with pages. But even speaking with a LinkedIn expert a couple of months ago, and I said I can't remember the last time I seen a post from a company page in the organic feed, and they agreed with me and said, I think it's kind of had its day. So I think LinkedIn may change that around. But going back to Facebook with the pages, February they had an algorithm change. So the algorithm change, basically they went from showing whatever you post on your page, showing it to most of your followers, to basically going, we're going to show it to around about 10% of your followers. If they like, if they comment, if they share, then we'll probably show it to a few more, because we think it's engaging content. But until then, we're just going to show it to a few people. Okay, and that's when people really took that as a punch below the belt, because they've been spending all this time on Facebook on their pages. They probably have been spending money as well to get more followers to their page. Now Facebook could kind of just flip the script on them. Now I've been saying for years that I thought that Facebook would do something with business. I thought it would kind of go more towards what Yale do with promoting pages, where you could basically pay to have your page do basically more of a powerhouse for you than a free page. So you could upgrade to a premium page, it would show up better in the feeds, it would show up more from a search point of view, all that kind of thing. I still think something will happen with that. Okay, so I think it's still important to not rely just on your page or just with the marketing that you're doing, and embrace change really. I think when it does happen, or whatever happens next, you should basically get on board with it, because a lot of people won't. And it's the same as 4 years ago, the people that said, oh, my customers aren't on social media, my customers aren't on Facebook, they're getting involved now, they're late to the party. Okay, they're finding it really hard now to get that traction. So I think definitely keep embracing changes and moving along with what they're doing. So with all the social platforms, the same is with Google, with SEO, is that they want to give the best content to their audience really. Okay, and then the more audience they get, the more engagement they get from their audience, the more that audience is going to stay on that platform. And that's what it's all about at the moment, is a competition between all the different platforms. They want all the people, they want all the attention, all the eyes on their platform. So Facebook, a lot of people doing it, a lot of people saying, look, this is what I do, buy my stuff. And we'll go through some of the content in a later video, but just to give you that idea that Facebook is probably still the platform to promote your business. And when I say promote, it's still a mix of giving value. So showing your expertise, showing what you do, letting people know the kind of, letting them know the kind of products and services that you have, maybe the prices, but we don't want to keep banging on about buying our stuff. And then we come to Instagram, sorry. So Instagram in the States at the moment is the biggest business platform. Okay, they kind of had the biggest uptake of business profiles, a lot of business being done heavily towards the fashion industry. So people that are selling t-shirts, selling clothes and stuff like that, they're doing a lot of work on there. In the UK at the moment, we're not really having the same effect with business. I do think we will see a lot more from business, and I think it's using Instagram as the traffic source for moving a person from one step to another. Instagram works really well for businesses which are, you know, building a personal brand. So if you're a coach or something like that and you're putting out that kind of, you know, motivational quotes and advice and stuff like that, that can work quite well. If you're kind of selling novelty products, or you're in the print business, or something that's really visual, you know, then it really works. Again, going back to sports business that I have, Instagram is probably our best platform. Okay, we hardly got an audience on Facebook, but Instagram is where it really goes down. We did a massive deal last month, and that was all from Instagram. Really, it was negotiated through Instagram until we got to signing the contracts. It's definitely got a place in your marketing today, but I wouldn't rely on it bringing any business in, especially if you're a service-based business locally. Okay, so that's kind of my view on there. It works really well. I can't remember if I just said this, but it works really well if you're showing a behind the scenes kind of insight into what goes on in your business. Again, with all these kind of social media platforms, the social side is what sells. So letting people know about you. It's the same as, you know, what used to happen, especially with social media from a business point of view, is you would post, you know, from the business as the business, and no one would really know about you. Now we get to that stage where all those businesses are in the same category. But if you're showing a face to the business, if you're showing, you know, similar things to what I'm doing with this video now, if you can actually show that you have that knowledge on a certain area and get it out there, then you're going to shine above the rest that are just, you know, looking generic. Okay, so it's all about coming up with different ideas on different platforms to really do this. So I've kind of waffled on quite a bit, and I know that, but let's look at it. Let's kind of round up and look at it as bullet points. Okay, so social media should be seen as a way to get your business out there, create that awareness, and also use it as a stepping stone to generate traffic onto the next step. Okay, so it's kind of like a funnel process. Good points and bad points with social media. Bad points is you don't own any of it. Okay, you're just renting that space for the time being. So you need to be prepared to change and not rely on that for moving forward. Okay, so same as like I said with myself with affiliate marketing with Twitter, if I didn't change, I would be out of business. Okay, so it's as simple as that, of being able to kind of change. Should you use all the platforms? Should you use one? In an ideal world, you would use everything. Okay, and you would use everything to your advantage. We don't have the time or money to do that most of the time in small business. So what we kind of want to do is give our attention to one platform. And this is what I do as well within my business and businesses that I'm involved in, and clients' businesses as well, is that we don't use it to look at generating business, but it's more about testing the waters. So, you know, I will probably go and spend a month on the platform and see what it's like. I'm playing around with Twitter at the moment just to see if there is anything left there, but I would spend that kind of time there. But in the meantime, I would still be ticking along on the other platforms. So, you know, I would still be putting a few posts out on Instagram or a few posts out on social media just to keep that ticking along. And that's the shop window opening up, letting people know that you're in business, you're still offering, you know, those kind of services. And then you can switch back and go to another one and really go bullish with a campaign or something like that you're going after. So let's run through it. So LinkedIn professional, building those connections, you know, especially if your audience is, you know, the people that are running businesses or the bigger businesses. Instagram, showing that behind the scenes, showing that you're a real person, showing your creative side, something that's really visual. Facebook is all about getting in the mix. So again, a lot of people on Facebook, you know, but it's all about engagement, getting that kind of message across and interacting, okay, with those kind of people, giving that value. Twitter, still get involved, and don't worry about the rest. Okay, so that's basically it for today. It's been a long video, actually. I've been waffling on. As always, any questions that you have, put them in the comments below. Get a message over to me. We have the group as well, so if you do have any questions on anything in regards to marketing that you need an answer on now, there's some great people in the group that can answer. We had a question yesterday, we had a question a few months back as well about standing out from the competition, some great answers in there. So get involved. Successful business marketing, this is all for you, helping you get your marketing working for you really when running your business. So I'm Jamie, you've been watching this video all about social media, and I hope it works for you. Thank you.